Hi, my name's JJ Heath Caldwell. I'm the chairman of the committee which organises the Clarendon Marathon each year. We have about 30 or 40 of us on the committee. I'm not sure the exact number, but there's a lot. And on the day we also have about 200 volunteers. And this year, running in the event, we will have just under 1,000 people. So all looks good. Now, we have produced a document which is Notes for Runners, which is this document here, which you will have received by email. If you haven't, please contact me. The same information in the document is actually on the website, so please do look at the website, or any emails that we send, please do read your way through them. So I'm going to go through some of the key points. So the first thing is we start in the morning. It's best to park your car in one of the designated parking places. Please read that on the website. And there are a few signs here and there that say things like parking to help guide you to make sure you're in the right place. There's also a few signs that say no parking, so please don't park there. There's also a few bus stops to catch buses, because we organise buses from going from the end at Winchester to the start before the race. We also have buses going from the end back to the beginning, so you can park at the beginning, run to take a bus back, or you can actually go to the start place, park your car, run through, and then get the bus back afterwards. Okay, we cover both eventualities. So start times for the start time is 10:30. There's also an earlier start at 9:30, but we are allowing people to actually leave early. If you look on the website, you'll see there's a table which you can work out the earliest time that you can actually start. So we recommend starting with the main start, but you can start earlier if you want to. Don't start super early, because you'll really mess things up. You've got to make sure that you don't get to Winchester before 1:15 or before 1:30 really. So we want the person coming in at 1:15 to be the person who really is the person who's won the race. So have a look carefully at that, just to make sure that you've got that figured out. So most people go in the start, but you can actually go early if you want to. When you get to the start location, you'll get your race number, and you'll also get 4 safety pins, so you can stick it on, all set to sort of go. Put it on the front really, so that it's easy to see, especially for some of the cameras along the way. It means they can pick them up. Later on, when you get to the end, please recycle the safety pins. So the safety pins, if you leave them open, they're sharp, so please clip them together into a little group just like that, because that helps us quite a lot as well. Many thanks. So at the start, if you're on the main start, I'll be there, and I'll be with us going, and off you go. But if you go earlier, you go earlier. The timing system will actually pick you up and take you on from there. So that's all straightforward. Moving on from there. Now, overtaking. Most of the trail along the Clarendon Marathon is relatively wide, so overtaking is no problem. There are a few narrow parts, so please be considerate when you're overtaking. If you're a fast runner and you're coming up behind someone who's in a narrow section, try and let them know in advance that you're behind them, and you'd like to get past when it's convenient for them, and then hopefully they'll pull over. If you're one of those people at the front and someone comes up behind you, don't feel pressurized that you have to pull over straight away. Just acknowledge that you know they're there and you're pulling over as soon as you can, and when you can do. That's the way to do it. The Clarendon is an experience run, although there are prizes for the fastest people, etc. We do remind everyone it's an experience, so please always be polite with overtaking and so forth. That should be good. Also look out for other members of the public, because obviously it's a public right of way. You will have other people of the public out and about, so try and always be courteous whenever you can. The buses, as I briefly mentioned, it's quite involved. We've actually got 4 buses driving all over the place. I won't go through the bus timetable, but the bus timetable is actually on the website. So if you're going to use the buses, please have a look at the timetable. If you're a relay team, we assume that you won't be using the buses, because they're not geared up for the relay teams. Relay teams, you best have a support car that drives you along. So it's all straightforward. If you do want to use the buses for the first runner or the last runner, then that's fine. But places like Winterslow and Farley Mount, we don't have any buses going in and out of those locations. Race numbers, as I said, you'll pick that up at the beginning. We don't post them out. They have just arrived, so if you're a relay team and you're actually going separately and you need your runners beforehand, please contact me. We hopefully would be able to arrange it so you can pick it up from my house at Sutton Scotney, or we'll have them down at King's School a little bit on Saturday. But anyway, if you need your relay team race numbers before then, please contact me. If you're running in the full or the half or the mini, you won't need your numbers before then. You can pick them up on the day, no problem at all. That's all straightforward. Once you actually, in fact, before you go, the other thing you'll want to do is have some warm clothes. So make sure you turn up with some warm clothes. Don't turn up just like a running shirt. Turn up with some warm clothes and a bag. When you get to the start location, they'll give you a label to put on the bag. So you put your warm clothes into your bag, you put that onto the bag bus, and it will be transported to the finish line at Winchester. So when you get to Winchester, you can then pick up your bags and reclaim them. Okay, so that's all straightforward. We don't know what the weather's going to be like. I had a quick look at the forecast today, because we've got 6 days to go at the moment. The long range forecast says it's going to be a bit cloudy. So hey, we just don't know. But if it's really lovely and warm and bright and sunny, then that's great. If it's like it was a few years ago when we had Hurricane Alex visiting our shores, then it might be a bit wet. It's probably best to take a light raincoat with you, even if you just carry it in your hand, just so that if you do get, if the weather's really bad, it just stops you getting really, really cold. Something else to be aware of, all of the marshals, or most of the marshals, also have a safety blanket for emergencies. So if you do find that you're getting very cold and you're not feeling good, make sure you stop and talk to a marshal. They might even have an old coat that they can give you, but they have at least got these just as a temporary thing. It's not going to keep you super warm, but it's better than nothing. So keep that in mind. We have got those available. So moving on from there, cars. The Clarendon has a number of road crossings. We have got official road closures for some of them, but not all of them. In general, you should always consider that cars have a right of way, so don't expect cars to stop for you. When you come up to a road crossing, please do keep a lookout. And we have got signs about road crossings. Caution, road ahead. So you see these popping up quite regularly, just to remind you that there's a road crossing coming up. We also have signs for the cars to see, just to remind them that we're on the way as well. I forgot to say at the beginning, that's our sign that you'll see at the beginning about where to collect your numbers. So when you get to the start location, look for that sign. That tells you where the desk is, where you can actually pick up your race numbers. Right, so signage, there's about 500 signs all around the coast, all around on the thing. Most of them are arrows, okay? So straight ahead, want to turn one way, want to turn the other way. Okay, so you see lots of these. Generally they've all got a yellow background. So you know you're on the right course. If you're running along and you haven't seen an arrow for a while, then you may have got yourself lost. We haven't lost anyone in the last few years, and I certainly hope we're not going to lose anybody this year. We also have some small mini arrows as well, so sometimes you see the small mini arrows. Something to be aware of, mileage markers. Here's the 20 miles to go. If you're doing the full marathon, the first one you'll see is 26 miles to go. The mile markers count down. So you see 26, 25, 24, 23, and eventually you'll run past this very sign when you've got 20 miles to go, and eventually get down to 1 mile to go, which is always the best one to see. Always a good feeling. Along the way, we have got toilets in a number of locations. So toilets, there's the Village Hall at Pitton, there's the Sports Pavilion at Winterslow. We've also got some at Broughton. Later on, we've got one at Farley Mount. We've also got one on Broughton. We've got it coming down into Broughton. There's also some by the Village Hall in Broughton. But generally, we've got the mark with the toilet sign, just to remind you that there's a toilet coming up. In Farley Mount, we've got 2 different toilets. They're portaloos. Again, you'll see some signs. And obviously, we've got toilets at the end at Kingston. That's all straightforward. If you're in a relay team, you don't have to run 26 miles, you only run about 6 miles, and then you'll hit a relay transition. So there'll be a sign that says relay change, and that's where you obviously change over to the next person. You'll be given a baton, so you'll have a relay number, similar to one of those, but orange, and you also have a baton which you have to hand over on to the next person, and time will all be recorded and so forth. Some places along the way it's a bit slippy, especially if it's been wet. So do look out for slippery areas. You can be running along quite good solid ground and then all of a sudden you get to a slippery bit. We often have people slip over. So there's some places where we actually put some signs up to say be aware there's actually a slippy path ahead. So look out for those signs as well. Generally you should be fine. Drink stations. We have 13 drink stations along the way, so you don't really need to take your own water, but if you still like to take your own water, please do. One thing to keep in mind is we're trying to reduce the use of plastic cups. So we used to hand out thousands. We still are handing out plastic cups, but we're encouraging people to use their own cups. So please take your own cup and carry it with you. At the stations you'll find there are people with a covered jug and they will top your cup up for you, or if you've got a little water bottle they'll top that up for you. If you don't bring a cup or you forget to bring your cup or whatever, do take one of our cups, but rather than putting it in the bin, carry it with you so that you can reuse it as you go through. Again, we've all got to do our bit to try and reduce plastic, and we want to reduce that as much as possible. The main reason we're still giving out cups actually is because we've still got thousands from when we ordered them about 4 years ago. But we do want to get to the stage where we don't have cups at all. Everybody will have their own. So that's all good. What else have we got? The marshals, there's about 100 marshal locations all the way along. So there's marshals absolutely left, right and centre. Most of them will be wearing rotary tabards. As you run past the marshals, please say, "Thank you, Marshal. Thank you, Marshal." We want to make sure that the marshals have a good time, just as we want you to have a good time. It's really important that you have a good time, so you want to come and run with us again next year. But it's also important that the marshals have a good time, because we want them to come back and marshal next year. And if everybody runs through saying "Thank you, Marshal," it does make the marshals feel appreciated. So please do say that whenever you can. Emergencies. We've got all these marshals to talk to. If you're not feeling well or whatever, please stop and talk to one of the marshals. We have got 3 roving ambulances that are actually on the move around. So talk to a marshal and they'll try and get in touch with one of the ambulances and get it through to you. Mobile phones work on some of the course, but not all of it. If you've got a mobile phone and you need to make a call, you might find that that you just haven't got the coverage. So if you're in a situation where nobody's got a mobile that can connect, use another runner to get a message further down the line to the next place that's got marshals. One thing that's very important is that if you aren't feeling well, don't go and sit in the trees and to try and have a little rest, particularly at Farley Mount in the last 5 miles. If you go into the trees and you collapse, we will never find you. We don't count the runners out and we don't count the runners in. Every year there are lots of runners who don't complete the course, and most of them, they've arranged their own way to get home, or our marshals have brought them out or whatever. But we don't go back looking for anybody who's missing. So if you are not well, please make sure you talk to a marshal. Do not go and sit in the trees hoping to get better. Rubbish. Please don't drop any rubbish anywhere. So if you've got sweets or anything that you're carrying with you with plastic wrappers, we prefer you not to have sweets with plastic wrappers, by the way. But if you have got sweets with plastic wrappers, please make sure you keep the plastic wrapper and take it to the next drink station. At the drink stations, they have got rubbish bins, so you can put your rubbish in the rubbish bins. Or if you've got some rubbish, give it to a marshal and they'll take it off you. Toilets I've covered. Cut-off times. So we can't keep the marshals out there the whole time. If you're not feeling good and you're ending up towards the back, we'll have some tail cyclists who'll be following you, and they will advise you that you're too slow and that you're holding everyone up, in which case it will be best if you either shortcut or if you accept a lift to the end. So if you are towards the very, very back, please do take the advice from the marshals. The marshals try and be as helpful as possible, but the problem we do get is we get people who want to row 26 miles, they're very tired, they've only got a few miles to go, and they insist on trying to do the last few miles. The problem is that we then have marshals waiting out for you for an extra hour or so, and sometimes the marshals vote with their feet. They just leave and they take their arrows with them, and then it gets pretty chaotic. And we did have this about 3 years ago, one of the marshals got a bit tired and a bit confused, and he left and took his arrow with him. So the last couple of runners, it was ended up being a bit of a disaster. So if you are very, very slow or you're not feeling well, please, if you're advised by the marshals to withdraw from the race, please take their advice. If you're walking, please start as early as possible. Obviously, the earliest you can start the full marathon is 8 o'clock, but you can actually start at about 7:30. So the timing team will definitely be in place by 8 o'clock, but hopefully they'll be in place by about 7:30. Even if they're not in place, we can probably send you off and just record your time and then update it later on. Okay, so if you are walking, take an early start. If you are a very fast runner, then you should definitely go in the 10:30 start. But if you're not a fast runner, don't wait for the 10:30 start. Take the 9:30 start or go earlier. Okay. Again, look at their website. There's a whole table with times where you can work out the best time for you to go. One thing that some feedback we have got in the last few years, a lot of people have actually said, especially the more older runners, like myself actually, I'm 63, a lot of the older runners say that they really enjoy the fact that they can leave earlier to just have an easier day. So do take us up on that. But all you young people, you should be at the 10:30 start and ready to go for it. But there you go. Now there are two shortcuts. There's a shortcut in Winterslow and there's a shortcut in Farley Mount. So if you are walking, do take the shortcuts. The shortcuts actually keep you on the Clarendon Way rather than running a couple of extra loops to make up the 26 miles. Okay, so to make that full 26 miles, we've got these extra loops. If you're walking or if you're slow, please take the shortcut and just knock those out, because it'll reduce your journey by about a mile or a couple of miles, which is well worth doing. That's shortcuts. Traffic congestion. We get a lot of traffic congestion along the route. So if you're a relay team, please don't, or first, if you're a spectator, don't drive along the route hoping to see your friends. If you're a spectator, certainly see them off at the beginning and then go to Winchester via the main road and see your friends as they come in at the end. We do keep parking at King's School for spectators. So if you're a runner, don't park your car in the morning at King's School. Make sure you park your car at the park and ride. And then that means we've got some space later on for spectators and relay teams to park their car actually at King's School. There's also another little car park further down the road. So again, the details of those car parks are on the website. Please do have a look at those. What else we got? T-shirts. When you get to the end, first thing you want to do is reclaim your baggage and get your warm clothes on, because that's important, because you'll cool down quite quickly. But the other thing is T-shirts, and the T-shirts, we have female T-shirts and we have male T-shirts. So the female T-shirts, I'm sure by all my lady friends, they're a much nicer fit for ladies. So do be aware that there's two sorts of T-shirts. The guys grab the guys' T-shirts, the ladies grabs the ladies' T-shirts. We hope we have enough T-shirts. A lot of people are electing to not have a T-shirt. If you've already got lots of T-shirts from lots of runs, you just don't need them. Many thanks to all of you who have opted not to have a T-shirt, and your money has been added to the pool for Rotary Charities, which we're very, very grateful for. Also, again, we're conscious of the world's resources. So if you're booking again next year, do consider ticking the box that says no T-shirt, donate the money to charity. If you have ticked the box, donated the money to charity, and then you've seen the T-shirts and decide that you'd like to have a T-shirt, do come and see us later on, because there might be some left, or if you bump into me at Park Run or anything, do come and see me, because usually there's a few T-shirts left over. So we might be able to sort out something anyway. The T-shirts this year are long sleeved. Okay, so T-shirts this year, long sleeve. We've made these so that you can use them in the winter, running in the winter and so forth. Okay, long sleeves, keep you warm, and it's a fluorescent colour so that people can see you at night, because often in the winter I find I'm running at night, so we thought it'd be nice to have a long sleeve one again. We had a white long sleeve one a few years ago, it was quite popular. Next year we'll go back to a short sleeve one again. But yeah, you've got Clarendon Marathon on the front, all that sort of stuff. There will also be medals. So you've got medals that we'll be handing out. There we go. It's my medal. Again, some people like myself, we've got lots and lots of medals, so you don't really want any more medals. Some people have opted not to have medals, and again, the money's being donated to Rotary charities, so that's great. If you have clicked that to say that you don't want a medal, and then later on you change your mind, do come see us, because we might have some spare left over at the end. I don't know for sure, but we'll see how that goes, so keep that in mind. Boom, boom, boom. Marshals, we've got lots of marshals. We've only got 6 days to go, but if you've got any other friends who'd like to join us on the marshals team, do let us know. We're always keen to have lots and lots of marshals, so if you've got any friends who'd like to join one of our marshalling teams, do contact us. We do have some prizes. Okay, so at the end, you might be eligible for a prize if you're a very fast runner. The prizes are quite neat. These little trophies, little glass trophies, which look like this. Okay. We also hand these out if you've done 5 or 10, 15 or 20 miles. So if you want to pick up one of these for completing 5, sorry, not miles, events. So if you want to pick up one of these for doing 5 events or 10 events or 15 events or 20 events, yes, there are some people who have survived 20 Clarendons, not very many, but some. They definitely deserved a trophy. Well done. Quite a few people have picked up the 5. If you want one of these, can you contact me beforehand, just so that I can get an idea of how many people are going to claim them when we've got the right numbers and so forth. Again, if you're not on the list, talk to us anyway, because hopefully we'll be okay. But if you could contact me beforehand so I can get you on the list, that would be very, very grateful. We also have Clarendon coffee mugs. So if you were going for one of these, you would have clicked to pre-order it. They were an extra £10, so please do pick those up when you come through. If you're not sure whether you ordered it, have a look on your booking email, the very first one that you got from us, and that will actually tell you there. It'll be written on the bottom. We do have a few extra. You can buy them on the day. It's £10, so if you want a Clarendon coffee mug, do bring £10 along with you. Pre-COVID we had massage. I don't think we're going to have massage this year. Yeah, sorry, we can't help you out with that. Another question is about showers. Do we have showers at the end? In fact, we do have showers at the end, but there's only a limited number and the water goes cold, so you're best ready just to pop your warm clothes on and go home and have a shower. But if you have a reason to really need a shower, there is some showers at the end. We also have our souvenir program. Now, these will be available at the beginning. So when you first book in, when you pick up your race number, you can also pick up a souvenir program, which has a few stories. Many thanks to the people who have contributed to this. Actually, I'll need to open it that way so you can see it, can't I? And many thanks to all the advertisers and so forth. And as every year, we also have a lovely Clarendon cover girl on the front. And this year, you can see we have 2 cover girls. So well done to everybody. You click one of these, pop it in your bag, so you've got it at the end. We'll also have some at the end as well. So do have a look, and I hope you enjoy reading some of the content. With that, I think we've covered about everything. Photographs, Sussex Sports Photography do the photographs for us, so they will be available a few days afterwards, where you can put in your race number, and it'll show you the photographs that you've actually got. You can also, it's best to visit the photograph page before you go and pre-register your number with their system, because then their system will start contacting you to send you links where you can pick up photographs. Normal resolution photographs are completely free. If you want the super high resolution photographs, then it does cost more. We also have a lot of our own photographers taking photographs all over the route, and we add those to an album which we put at the end. I put some of it onto Facebook and I put some at the end. We really do welcome runners and spectators sending us other photographs, so please do send us other photographs. If you take some selfies along the way, they're brilliant. We really like getting some of those. They go well in the album. We also will be doing a Clarendon the movie again, which is done by our superhero Steve Feeney, who's right behind the camera as I'm saying this. Thank you very much, Steve. The Clarendon movie, if you haven't seen it, please do look at it. It's a fantastic piece of work. There's a number of us who are involved in the project. Steve's obviously the main person. But yeah, we've got lots of photographs, also some drone photography. So if you have time, well, you should make time. Definitely see Clarendon the movie from last year. It gives you a good feel for what it's like. And we'll have Clarendon the movie. We'll have the 3-minute version out within a day or so, and then we'll have the full version, which will probably be just under an hour. We'll have that out probably just over a week. So do look out for that. Responsibility and liability. You are responsible for looking after yourself. I don't want to go through a whole lot of things about what you should and shouldn't do, but please apply common sense all the way. Running 26 miles is pretty tough. If you're not feeling well, please stop and talk to a marshal and ask for help. Be careful when you cross roads. Be careful with everything. At the end of the day, it's your responsibility. We don't accept any liability for it. We're doing our best, and we're all volunteers. We're doing our best to make sure that you have a really good day. But if you have any problems, please be aware you have the liability. Do contact us afterwards if you have any problems at all, because that feedback is always very, very useful. What else do we have? Thank yous. Yeah, thank yous is the last thing on my list. I would like to sort of go through a great big long list of names to thank all the people who are actually involved, but that would be another movie altogether. So if I can just say thank you to all of the people who are involved in the committee who've worked hard all the way through the year. Thank you to all those marshals. And remember, as you run past them, please say thank you, Marshal. And of course, thank you to you, the runners. We really appreciate your support. At the moment, I understand a lot of big events like this are really having trouble with the numbers. The numbers are all down with a lot of them, but Clarendon, we've seemed to have been able to maintain quite healthy numbers. So we thank you for your support. We really appreciate it. So Sunday, the 1st of October, it should definitely be in your diary, because that is the day, and it's going to be just a few days' time. So have a fantastic time. Many thanks, and have a good day. And I'll be running with you. I won't run the full 26 miles. I'll join Broughton and run the half marathon, and then hopefully I'll still be around at the end to sort of chat to everybody. And please do come and say. Thank you very much.